You guys ready to go? You guys ready to rock it and roll it? 20:3 of Shemos. And let the Torah of Shem begin. Let the Torah of... And remember, this is going to be research live. There are going to be times where I disappear. Okay? It'll be edited out in the final copy. Let's go ahead and see what we find. Go ahead and feel free to chat amongst yourselves. Okay? This is a class. You can talk with each other. You can even anticipate what I will find, because I don't know. We're about to find out. So I'll go ahead and get the conversation started. What do you guys think I will find? And the commandment of you shall have no other gods. Even for yourself, go ahead and type what you think. Right? It'll help you articulate what we're about to find. I'm not going to read it. I'm not participating. Not yet, at least. I'm digging for treasure. Okay. The tolls are coming out. Toll shed is open. First thing is we have to believe that there's going to be a problem, right? Rashi's going to say something, and we want to know where Rashi's getting it. Like at the art scroll at the very end. Now, keep record, I'm not looking in the art scroll because we're going to end with the art scroll. And we wanted to see, did art scroll get it right or wrong? One or two. And we're saying that, I can't get that, in an objective way. Okay. Pardon my cold, I still have a little bit of a cough. Okay. 23. Let's see what Rashi has for us. Remember, Rashi is Lafib Shuto, which means it's rabbinic reality. And he's sorry. He is copying and pasting from previous sources. By definition, these are not Rashi's words. So we want to see what Rashi is quoting, where he's quoting it from, why he's quoting it that way, and what he could have said differently if he would have gone with pshat instead of pshuto. Lo yeh lecha Elohim acher emal panai. Lo tasa lecha peso. Okay. So straight up, very simple verse, right? Not a lot of extra words, very to the point. Nice verse. Lo yeh lecha Elohim acher al panai. We can even do a gematria on this because it's all small numbers. Let me go ahead and do it. I wanted to see for myself before we start if I can get a gematria real quick. Anytime you have a number less than 1,000, it's a valuable number. I messed up. 161. Oh, 140 plus 100 plus 696. That doesn't tell me anything. One second, 345 plus 100 plus 140 plus 585. It's also nothing. Let's try one more. 345 plus 50 plus 30 plus 31. There you go. Why do I know that number? Well, I don't know the number. It's weird. 456. No, nothing works out. Okay. That was just a side venture. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. All right, you guys ready for Rashi? To the verse, you will have no other gods before you. This is verse 3, chapter 20. I'm just going to look at Rashi, and it's a long Rashi, and it ends over there. All right, let's see what Rashi's got in store for us. My voice is a little scratchy, so I'm not going to talk my usual whatever, but I think it'll do. Lo yeh lecha, you shall not have before you. Lama ne'amar lefi shene'amar lo tase lecha, ein li ela shelo yasa asui kavar, minayin shelo yakayim talmud lomar lo yeh lecha. Now, right now, we have a nice little cheat, and my Chumash tells me that Rashi quoted this from the Mechilta. You guys want to bet on that? What do you think? And when I say bet on it, what I'm saying is you're about to see, not from a challenge standpoint, just from the point of like, oh, Rashi really did just copy and paste one or two. See, most people don't realize Rashi did this. Ramban might, but that's not the point. The point is, where did Rashi get his words? Because the Ramban has a different style than Rashi. Ramban is not coming to explain Lafi Pshuto. Ramban is doing whatever Ramban wants. And that's why people like the Ramban. Right? That's why I like the Ramban. Because it's unpredictable. He is doing whatever he feels like he needs to do. You see what I'm saying? Whereas Rashi is telling you, he's saying, this is what Rashi would say to you, I'm telling you exactly what I'm going to do every time I do it. See the point? It's like a system player. Ramban doesn't have a system. That's why he's incredibly difficult to learn in the Hebrew. Not because it's like hard to understand. It's just because his language is hard. He doesn't have a system. You see what I'm saying? He can be talking about anything, anytime, in words. It's just you have to have a breadth of knowledge to get what he's saying. Rashi is also very vast. But Rashi is telling you, if he would say himself, I am not vast, I'm just copying and pasting. It's like when a Noahide, copies and pastes an argument to Ger from a Gemara in Horayos, right? The Talmud says, did that Noahide have any idea what he's talking about? One or two. Right. They just copied and pasted the link. They have no idea what Horayos even is. But it looks like to the naked eye, wow, this guy, he's a formidable opponent. He even knows what Horayos is. I know that when I did Tshuva at my 20s, everyone that I learned from, I thought was like Moses. Because their knowledge base was so much greater than what I had from the couple books that I had read, Here we go. Okay. We are in the Mechilta. What is the Mechilta? It is it's called Midrash Halacha. Right? It's the Chumash, and it's Midrash on the Chumash, but for the sake of Halacha, Midrash means Darshan. Darshan is drush or drusha, which means an alternative look. Tell me if you understand what that means with one or two. When I say looking at the Torah with an alternative look, it means most people would look at it this way. We are looking at it another way. Does that make sense on a conceptual level, one or two? All right. Right? So, what is Ger? It is an alternative look to Noahide, one or two. It really doesn't get into right and wrong, right? Am I a rabbi right now or a father right now? Which one? Wrong. There's two kids sleeping next door in the next room right now that they think their Abba, their father, is in his office doing whatever Abba does. Right now. Right? So you guys think that it's Rabbi David Katz. The kids think it's their father. For the neighbors, they're just straight up confused. But you can choose to look at it either way you want, right? So Rashi's looking at this verse, Lefi Pshuto, a certain way. And other people would look at it a different way. The book I'm using, the Mechilta, is the alternative look. Okay, the Ramban might be looking at it from a Kabbalistic angle. Or what? Let's just say there's a normal angle. Rashi is taking the classic Chazal rabbinic angle. Not everybody's trained to look at it like a rabbi. That's the first thing people don't realize. They don't see Rashi as a rabbi. They see him as however they interpret the commentator to the Torah. They don't realize he is literally pasting and copying quotes from the rabbinic sources directly. And the rabbis don't look at the Torah as if it's Torah. They look at it like it's halacha. See the difference? The ger is not a halachic thing. I don't view you guys in my class as a halachic thing. That's called Noahide. And that's not wrong. It's just a viewpoint of view I don't want to engage. Right? Is your wife the mother of your kids, or is she your wife? Well, I mean, there's different relationships, right? If she's yelling at the kids, you the man need to figure out how to talk to her. Is this time for you to be dad, working with mom, or is this a case where you need to be working with your wife on a male-female issue? You need to be smart enough to recognize a difference, right? One or two. So again, this is not a Noahide chat right now. That if it was Noahide means 7 commandments that if you do them, you die. Literally, right? Just kind of get to the point. This is a different angle. Ger is oral, is the written Torah. We're talking Torah matters, souls, God. God does not enter the fray of Noahide. Just doesn't. There's no one of the 7 laws how you relate to God, which, by the way, is why Ger is essential. But if you want to protect your relationship with God, then you shouldn't steal. Then it's a Noahide discussion. Now do you understand what I'm saying? Rashi comes with a very specific point of view, a rabbinic point of view. When God said you'll have no other gods, that was a rabbinic statement. You understand what I'm saying? We look at it as a rabbinic thing. And I'm saying, don't be fooled in thinking that God saying there's no other gods is only a rabbinic enactment. It isn't. It was God speaking. But we're going to first look and discover what is the rabbinic view, and then we can see what is God's point of view. See the difference? One reveals God, one reveals the rabbi. Both are essential, but let's not ever forget which one's 1A and which one's 1B. So most people leave out 1A altogether. Then you only have 1B. Then you get only rabbinic, then you only have Noahide, and then there's no Ger. Then what happens is Art Scroll explains it like there never was a 1A. That's where I take issue, 1 or 2. All right. So here we go. Discovering you shall have no other gods, 1B. Do you understand what I mean when I say that? In code. 1 or 2. We're looking at Rashi's commentary, extracted from the Mechilta. 1B is what I'm calling the rabbinic point of view. 1A would be, let's say, the God point of view, right? We're going to end the end of every Torah of Shem lesson. You will walk out of it with what is 1A. What did God say? What does God want? What did God show? 1B is, now that I know there's God, what do I do about it? How do I keep the Torah? Now you're Noahide. Right? This is the oscillation, Noahide Ger, or Jew versus Israelite. Whatever you want to put in there, right? Whatever word you want to use to lower yourself and highlight yourself. Because under the lens of halacha, we're all kind of jaded, aren't we? But in the realm of God, we're all children of God, right? Halakha is what causes division. That's why there's division in Noahide. For example, But that's why it's a detriment if we say there's no Ger. Because in Ger, you say Kohen, Levi, Israel, Ger. We're all one. Major difference. We're going to attempt to always bring back the 1A through pointing out 1B and then showing how it's a massive crime to publish material 1B to the exclusion of 1A. And people assume I'm saying only 1A and I don't acknowledge 1B. You understand what I'm saying? I, in fact, do acknowledge both. They don't. Let's go. Lo yeh Elohim achirim. I don't know. What did Rashi say again? I forget. Lama nemar lefish nemar da 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 da. Okay. We're in the Mechilta, explaining our verse as such. Lama nemar lefish nemar nachi Hashem lekecha mashal lemelech b'asar v'dam sheniglas l'medina amru lo da 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 da. He's going on. There's a long Mechilta here. Who's this? Eric Bryan, good to see you. We're doing Shemos 23, 20:3, according to the Torah of Shem methodology of elevating the rabbinic Torah, which people think is devoid of God, and we're going to show how it contains God. We're now looking at Rashi. And why is my book using this particular Mechilta? 1 second. I'm guessing that this exists somewhere, and there it is, I think. Hold on. So the first thing we notice is the Mechilta, which is the name of the rabbinic Midrash Halacha on our verse, which means it's an alternative look, as we said. It's very long. They're giving a whole long thing. So what Rashi did was he did not quote the entire thing. He's quoting part of the thing. And I'm trying to identify where he got it from, which part. So hang on 1 second while I locate Rashi. And who's this? No, okay. So he's saying, why did they say lo yi lecha? Hold on 1 second. I just want to locate this. How to locate this? Hold on. And if Rashi changed the language, that's also interesting. He may not have actually gotten it from the Mechilta. This could actually be a misquote in the Chumash. That would also be a little bit of a gemstone find. Hold on a second. I'm seeing it now. See what's going on here? Look at this. You see that? Rashi broke it down into Lo Yelecha Elohim Acherim Al Panai. See that? There it is. We have one verse, 1 or 2, as in respond with 1 or 2. Do we have one verse? Go ahead and respond. Yes. It's 20:3. Is that correct? 1 or 2? How many words is in that verse? 7 words. 1 or 2? You guys give me a 1 there? So now here's the first thing. How's that possible? No, I'm talking the Hebrew. Sorry, the Hebrew words. The 7. So what we're seeing is Rashi breaks the commentary into 1, 2, 3 stanzas. Okay? Rashi, what's it called? Explains 3 different times. Boom, boom, boom. The Mechilta does it in one go. It doesn't need to break up the verse. Do you understand that? 1 or 2? All right. So now that we know that, I have to see all 3 of Rashi at one time in order to understand why and what he's doing. So it's very interesting here about the Noahites. 1 second. I'm gonna take a little bit of a digression here. Do you mind? I'm seeing something very interesting here on Noahide. You mind? Pam, this is a question you've been asking me for already over a year. That's why it's really striking out of me. Because remember, Shannon, you brought up the second commandment, which, in other words, you could call this moment Sinai. Is that correct? 1 or 2? This is a Sinai moment? You mean 1 or 2? And therefore, Pam, isn't that one of your most fundamental questions you've been asking me? What's going on with the Ger of Sinai? 1 or 2? All right. I'm just going to read kind of a gibberish little Hebrew here until I stop, so bear with me. Vayomer Hashem b'Sinai bo v'nagala al b'nei Esav ha'rashav amar lechem echabli matem esatayra amar lo ma'akativ ba amar lehem lo tiyutzav amar zav he yerusha sharasheno avinu shnemar al charvecha techaya nagala al b'nei amo v'moyev amar lehem echabli ba artem esatayra amar lo ma'akativ ba amar lehem lo tinaf amar lo kulana b'noyev d'gasiva Deharin shtei banos lod mavin okay v'gabla nigla b'nei Yishmoel Amar lehem mekabli natem esatoyra amar lo ma'akadiba amar lehem lo tignov amar lo bazo bebrachan nizvarach avino taksiv hu yeh per adam uksiv ki ganav ganavati kishabo etzel Yisrael miyameno eish das lomo pischov kulam pm amro kol asher diver Hashem nas ben yishma v'chinu oimer amad amar v'morid eretz roa v'yeter goyim amar Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. Okay, ready? Says Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. Right now, all we did was we talked about Esav, Yishmael, and Lot's daughters. If they had accepted Torah, they said no. Israel accepted the Torah, and now here we are. Are you ready? Yes or no? 1 or 2. Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. Im b'sheva mitzvahs shenitztavu b'nei Noach shekibu aleihin einon yechul la'amod behen kol v'chomer the mitzvahs b'shivat Torah. What? Im b'sheva mitzvahs shenitztavu b'nei Noach shekiblu aleihen einon yechulin la'amod behen kol v'chomer the mitzvahs b'shivat Torah. Okay, he brings an example. Mashal Lamelech Shemona lo shnei Tropslin. Echad mamona al oitzer shel tevin, v'echad mamona al oitzer shel kesef v'shel tzav. Zeh shahaya mamona al tevin niksha v'haya misroyim al shalom manu also al oitzer shel kesef shel zahav. Zeh shahaya mamona al kesef v'zahav. Amar lo reika b'tevin b'kaparis b'kesef v'zahav al chas chama v'chama. The lo dvarin kol v'chomer. Oma b'nei Noach b'sheva mitzvahs bilvad. Lo yachlu la'amod behem b'sheish ma'ot v'shalosh isrei mitzvahs alachas kama v'chama. Mibnei ma lo nitna Torah be'eretz Yisrael shalo liten pischon peh la'umas ha'olam leimar lafi shenitna be'artso lafikach lo kablenu. Very interesting. Look at this. Pam, I think we got your answer here. Hold on. Okay, here we got the answer. Hold on a second. Our Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. Im b'sheva mitzvahs shenitztavu b'nei Noach shekiblu aleihen im b'sheva mitzvahs Einan yechulin la'amod behen. It wouldn't be able. If what does he mean by that? It makes no sense. He's saying, if with 7 mitzvahs they were commanded to Noah, shakibu aleihin, that they accepted upon themselves. Einan yechulin la'amod behen. They wouldn't be able to stand for them. I don't know what that means. Kol v'chomer l'mitzvah sheb'Torah. All the more so the commandments of the Torah. I don't know what that means. Hold on a second. It's very strange. Very, very strange. What does he mean by that? Im b'sheva mitzvahs. If the 7 mitzvahs shenistavu b'nei Noach. Wait a second. It's a longer sentence. Okay, got it. The nations of the world, everybody before Sinai was commanded in 7 laws. Is that correct? Okay. Right now, God offered the 7 laws, the 7 law followers, which were Ishmael, Esav, daughters of Lot, and sons of Jacob. Can we effectively call that the world, at least Kabbalistically, right? Those that are amenable to God's commands, 1 or 2. And we're saying that everybody else, we haven't mentioned Israel yet, rejected the Torah. Is that correct? According to this. And what the Mechilta is saying is, if those people that rejected, and they rejected the 7, then all the more so, the 7 doesn't stand well for them, nor all the more so would 613 stand for them. Is that correct? So you didn't accept 7, and all the more so, why would you think you would accept 613? Right? Okay, which is basically, by the way, why 7 is such a big deal. Remember, what we would call Jews today, remember in Parshas Mara, for the sake of discussion, I'm going to use the word Jews, okay? The Jews accepted the 7 laws on themselves before Sinai. 1 or 2. There you have it. So what merit did so-called Jews get the Torah? Or if you want to call them the children of Israel back then, whatever you want to call it, on what merit? For accepting the 7 laws. Right? The 7 laws stood as a merit that no longer could you say, okay, you didn't even do the 7 laws, so all the more so 613. Right? We at least have the bridge. 1 or 2. Right? What Pam's saying. We at least have a bridge now. Now, there are those that are not of the seed of Jacob. Is that correct? And we know how the story ends. They're going to be called Gerim. Is that correct? And now we're going to get, hopefully in the story, how was it that there were Jews and Gerim at Sinai? One became of one covenant and one of the other. Isn't that going to be our question? And we both know, you know what, we can actually prove from here that premise is correct. Right? Because if we're going to say the nations of Klippa didn't accept the 7, and let's say the Jews did accept 7. Can we say that so far? Yes. Did anybody say that nobody else ever accepted the 7? No. So there it's proven. Now the only question is, hold on a second, somebody wants to come to class. Let me see if I can give them the link. Okay, so now let's see if they're going to drive it home. I hope they do, for your sake, Pam, because I know you're. Oh, come on, Pam! Right when it gets good. There we go. So it brings an analogy. Mashal Amelech Shmeinalo, a king who had wealth. Shnei Apitroisim. Apitropis is someone who overlooks an estate. Echad Mamona al Oitzer, one was master of the treasury. of the grain. Right, one was the monetary master, and one was the agricultural master. I'm going to throw out a quiz question. Who does this remind you of? First thing that popped in my head. Who does it remind you of in the Torah? Think back further. You're right. Actually, Joseph took over the whole thing. When we're all said and done, the answer is Joseph. Keep that in mind, Brandon. Remind me to go there. Right? When the two sons unite, you get Joseph. Very good call. But before it's one son, when it's two sons, who's it remind you of? Good call, Brandon. That was good. When it's two entities, who is it? Cain and Abel. One or two. Right? One was the farmer, and one was the what do you call it? With animals. But you can livestock. I mean, is money. More, you can say in one way. All right. Shahaya, Ze Shahaya Mamona ala Tevin Nikshad Shahaya Misroem al Shalom Manu Oso al Oser Shal Kesef V'Shal Zav Ze Shahaya Mamona Shal Kesef V'Zav Amarlo Reika B'Tevin Kaparas B'Kesef V'Zav al Chaskama V'Kam. So basically, Shal Kesef V'Shal Zav Ze Shahaya Mamona Sha'al Tevin Nikshad V'Haya Misroyim Al Shalom Manu Oso. Basically, these guys are arguing, and you can see why they're arguing, right? Just Cain and Abel. David Dunn is here. Hold on a second. Okay, so you can see now why Cain and Abel are arguing, according to where we're at. Right? We can see now why Cain and Abel are arguing. Just on a very superficial level. You don't got to go so deep. Right? People that are in banking, they argue with farmers. One or two. Keep it real simple, on the surface. Right? You didn't give me the right amount for my food. Okay. Surely, Devarim Kol. Certainly, David Dunn, welcome. Certainly, you'll keep up. Right now, we're just trying to figure out what's going on with Mount Sinai, and you should have no other gods. We're going to be delivering the verse, but we had a little digression because we saw the word B'nai Noach, and we have to investigate that because Pam's been asking me this for a long time, and everybody else is as well. So let's see if it was. I don't know if it's going to answer the question or not. I'm about to find out. You're in just in time. So these the farmer and the banker, Cain and Abel, and Partsuf, right, personification. Right, their argument somehow it's going to be compared to something else. I don't know what yet, and it looks like it's going to be the Noahides and Jews. So it sounds like it could be a good answer, right? Surely these things are kol v'chaimer, all the more so. Uma b'nei Noach b'sheva mitzvahs bilvad lo yachulu la'amod behem b'sheish ma'ot v'shlosh esrei mitzvahs al achas kama v'kama. What does that mean? Uma b'nei Noach b'sheva mitzvahs bilvad lo yachulu la'amod behem b'sheish. They couldn't. The nations that were rejected, they couldn't even perform the 7 mitzvahs, right? B'shesh ma'ot u'shlosh esrei mitzvahs. Now he says, alachas kama v'kama. What does that mean, alachas kama v'kama? Hold on. That's a funny language. B'shesh ma'ot u'shlosh esrei mitzvahs. Alachas kama v'kama. What does it mean, alachas, on one? On one what? Uma b'nei Noach b'sheva mitzvahs bilvad lo yachulu la'amod behem b'sheish ma'ot v'shlosh esrei mitzvahs alachas kama v'kama. Whoa! I think I got the answer. You know this? This may be an incredibly crazy answer. Hold on a second. This might be the answer, Pam. I think I know this is wild. Hold on, so let me plug it back in with our Cain and Abel. How does he compare it with Cain and Abel? That's what's missing here. Hold on. So you got the agriculture and the banker. So Zeh Shehaya Mamona Ala Tevin. Nikshot. The agriculture, there's suspicion. The Haya Misram Al Shalom Manu Oso Al Otzer Shel Kesef V'Shel Zahav. Zeh Shehaya Mamona Shel Kesef Zahav. Amar Lo Reika B'Tevin Kaparas B'Kesef V'Zahav. Now I want to look up these words. This is interesting. I think we got it. I really think we got it. I really think we got this. Hold on one second. Let's look up the definitions. Be right. Hold on. Okay, so yes, this is so he was the farmer. Who was our farmer? It was who was it? It was Hevel. Or sorry, Cain. So Cain is the farmer. He's howling. He's all upset. On the banker. So Cain is mad at Abel. Let's see if this works out. If this works out, we got something really profound here. Cain is upset at Abel. Shalom manu oto al otzer shel kesef v'shel zav. She didn't count for him. V'zeh shehayim amonah shel kesef v'zav said. Reika b'tevin. What's this word reika? Sounds like you didn't pay me for my produce. That's what it sounds like. Hold on. Void or vacuum. What is he saying here? Amar lo reika b'tevin. Reika b'tevin kaparas b'kesef v'zav. What does that mean? Reika b'tevin kaparas b'kesef v'zav. He said to him, Reika b'tevin. Reika b'tevin kaparat b'kesef. The atonement is with money. What does this word mean, reika? That's the question. Empty. Emptiness. Vanity. No purpose. Empty-handed. He said to him, empty-handed with tevin. Kaparas Kesef was what was that? 1 second. This is challenging. What does that mean? Amar lo. Oh, so Reika b'tevin. Reika b'tevin. Kaparas. Reika b'tevin. Kaparas b'kesef v'zav. Reika b'tevin. Devoid of agriculture. Atoned with money. Hold on. Zeh shehaya mamona otevin. Nikshot. And he was howling al shalom also that he wasn't counting him al otzer shel kesef shel zahav. I think what he's saying, why am I a banker? Why did I go into banking? Because I don't have produce. You're complaining, why didn't I give you money? Because you have produce. Right? Why did I not? You say I stole it from you. I stole your produce. I didn't give you money because I don't have produce. Something going on with that. There's a note here. 1 second. I'm not saying it's a good argument. It just sounds like that's the argument. Does that make sense? I think it barely makes sense in my head. I think it's, I was saying, this one, this Zeshahayim Amona Alatevin. The agricultural farmer was suspicious, and V'haya Misram, he was howling that he wasn't counted. Oto al Otzer shel. The treasurer didn't count him. Right, he didn't count. That's right. Your produce is not worth anything. That's not money, right? When you come to the gas station to buy candy bars, okay, and you give me 20 apples, do I, working at the gas station, have to take your 20 apples? One or two? The market says it's worth, exactly the $3 of the candy bar. You gave me exactly the amount of money. He says, what's going on here? So the banker, the cashier, said to him, Reika betevin kaparos bekesef azav. Why am I selling candy bars for money? Because I don't grow apples to eat. Thereby I deal with money. See what I'm saying? I don't sell apples in my store. I sell candy bars. Alachas kama v'kama. That's the question. What does it mean, alachat kama v'kama? On one, all the more so. Alachas kama v'kama. Let me now get another tool. I want to see how the Talmud translates idiom alachas kama v'kama. Because this is the whole crux is in this idiom. Here it is. Alachas kama v'kama. How much more so? All the more so. In regarding matters that people generally do in public, the Torah states, walk humbly. How much more so regarding matters they generally do in private? Okay, got that? That's the whole argument. So, therefore, alachas kama v'kama. He said to him, empty-handed in Tevin, in agriculture, is atoned by money, alachas kama v'kama. So if, he said, this is very complicated. If the world has farmers and bankers, and you're upset that I don't recognize your monetary wealth, then he's saying all the more so, all the more so. Now, what is the all the more so? I think this is where we're gonna get into the Noahide stuff. Surely dvarim kol v'chleimer. Certainly things are a logical inferment. Just as the Bnei Noach, with the 7 mitzvahs alone, lo yachol lamod behem. Right, so the nations of the world before Sinai failed to perfect the 7 laws that the entire world should be given the Torah at Sinai as a universal Torah revelation, right? So Cain was upset that his wealth of produce was not recognized. Let me think about that for 1 second. Let's ask that question afterwards, okay? I want to finish the thing here. And we'll see if Cain and Abel works. B'shesh mo shlosh esrei mitzvahs, all the more so. So if the world couldn't get over 7, they're not going to get over 613. We know that the waters of Mara, by the way, I think we might just, Shannon, do you mind if we turn today's lesson into this? I know it kind of got sabotaged. She isn't in here. She left. Well, we'll keep going. So at the waters of Mara, the Jewish proper, okay, we're to call that for today's terms, took on the 7 laws of Noah. That's a Rashi that says that, 1 or 2. So God made sure, as Pam said, the bridge existed. There was the fulfillment of 7 laws, right? From Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all the way through. There was something called an Israelite, child of Israel, call it a Jew today, whatever you want to call it, for the sake of discussion. Somebody took on the 7 laws and used it as a bridge of Sinai to take on 613, correct? I think we have our answer. It's a rough answer, but I think it might be true. Is there something today called Noahides and Gerim in the general scene? Yeah. How many of you have seen on Facebook a comment that says something like, "Hi, Rabbi Katz, I love your work. I left the church about a month ago. I saw your Ger series. I love it. I think I'm a Ger." Right? I get those emails a lot. I don't know if you've seen them. Now, is that person really a Ger? I mean, I would love for them to be a Ger, bless their heart, but they're not. They're just not. You know, I mean, I love you. You're a great person, I'm sure, but you're just not a Ger. A Ger, by definition, is, that's called Nachri. A Nachri that learns the Torah is like a high priest. We know that. No harm, no foul. That's right. And then I'm blamed for spreading Ger. No, I'm spreading Ger consciousness and awareness so that people know that there's something more to look forward to than a dungeon called 7. Right? You don't throw the key away and say you're a Noahide, now go away. Now, at the same time, let's say right now there's a Sinai happening, okay? In make-believe land. Right? This is totally fictitious, okay? Right now, God comes down and says, Mashiach came. Again, don't read into this. This is totally fake. And the Gerim that are real Gerim today are whatever word you want to fill in. Grafted, perfected, okay? Whatever word you want to put in there. Can you envision such a hyped-up scenario in the fantasy land? Now, take your Noahide. You're the guy that just left church, Noahide. I'm not talking Noahide nations. I'm talking about the guy that literally left the church a month ago. You know that guy? Is he going to be part of this Ger grafting thing the same way as Ger according to our template? I know it sounds a little bit Christian what I'm saying, but hear me out. Now, with that said, let's go back to Sinai, the real thing, okay? Was there a Sinai? Was there a Noahide experience before Sinai at the waters of Mara? Are we all in touch with reality? Did everybody at the waters of Mara experiment perfect the 7 laws of Noah? Based on reality? No. That's right. So I'm saying, according to the Mechilta, there were people that were ready for Sinai, 613 Sinai, and there were those who were ready for Sinai to further perfect the 7. There's your answer, Pam. There it is. Then you're going to say, so those that took on 613 were better than 7. No. Look at it male, female. Some people may have just wanted to tarry onward with 7. Some people wanted to go to 613. Okay, if I am offering ice cream right now, I'm offering 2 kinds of ice cream, strawberry and chocolate. Type on your screen right now which one you want. I'm offering. You have to take it. In this world, you'd have to choose ice cream or you go to eternal condemnation. Okay, so Eric Bryan's choosing strawberry. We got some chocolates. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story. Okay? In 100 years from now, I'm going to make this real fire and brimstone religious talk, right? The devil is going to make a business agreement with those people who sell strawberry ice cream. And strawberry ice cream is going to be the endorsing entity of all Super Bowl champions. Chocolate is a derogatory ice cream because it's not strawberry. Okay? We only promote strawberry ice cream. If you're not eating strawberry, you're basically not cool. One or two, according to my little fantasy here. Okay? Now, in reality, is that true? Is Eric Bryan really better than you guys? Did you all get ice cream? Did you all get what you deserved and enjoyed? You bought your brand, you got your Ben & Jerry's, and everyone's happy? You know, I just realized last night, I have a new favorite ice cream. You know what it is? This is a true story. The Cinnabon Ben & Jerry's. Now, generally, that is heresy because I like Oreos and cream. My whole life as a kid, I used to love cookies and cream ice cream. Now I'm addicted to the Cinnabon. And I generally don't eat ice cream. I make a principle not to. But if I'm going to eat it, man, I'm getting the Ben & Jerry's Cinnabons. It's like a huge chunk of goodness. That's what I wanted with the Oreos and cream, a huge chunk of goodness. But I realized the truth, and it's now Cinnabon. My point is, if you get what you wanted, right? Nobody's eating Cinnabon today, let's say, as much as the chocolate swirl, right? I'm sure Cinnabon is not rated number 1 in the USA Today or the British Times results, 1 or 2. But I'm going to stand tall, and I'm going to say, I'm Rabbi David Katz, and I only eat Cinnabon swirl, right? People are going to say, oh, how weird. Why would you ever eat that? When at the end of the day, did I get my ice cream just like you? But the devil did his little job and made it sound like if you're not eating strawberry, you're practically a low-class second-grade citizen, right? If you don't like the Yankees, you don't like baseball. If you don't like Facebook, you're not in the loop. If you use Yahoo Mail instead of Gmail, you're way out of touch. 1 or 2. You know, this is how this whole story goes, right? Now that I've proven my point on that, is it safe to say that that's what happened in Sinai? The 7 laws were given. Whoever came out of Egypt and came to congregate at Sinai, they came. We know that people came. Gerim came. Seed of Jacob literally came. People came. We know who didn't come. Ishmael didn't come. Asaph didn't come. Okay, but there were defectees. And then the laws were given, the 7 laws were given at Marah. And you know what happened at Marah? Some people fell in love with 7, and some people didn't. It's that simple. I remember when I got involved in Torah, I opened it up, Bereshit Bar Elokim, right? And we got to Adam and Eve. I stayed on the story of Adam and Eve for like months. And the Ger of Rabbi was like, can we continue? I said, what are you talking about? Why would I continue? This is the secrets of the universe. I just knew it then. I knew it. I looked at it and said, bam, there it is. To this day, I still work on Adam and Eve. And then I would find out in Talmudics, it's called Iyun. Now, anybody that knows me knows I can do a little bit of Iyun, in depth. I learned a Mishnah in yeshiva for 5 years. I was going to write a book on it before I left yeshiva. How long have we been doing Mishlei, Brian? On 1 verse. David Dome, do you see that? Are you with us? We have spent half a year on not even an entire verse of Mishlei. It's documented. The classes are on YouTube. Okay? Half a year. Half a year on half a verse of Proverbs. You caught this? And they keep coming back for more. That's like super duper Iyun. And so my Ger of Rabbi Kovel, he would have been the type that would have said, okay, we got it. Great. Shlomo had wisdom. Can we continue, please? Can we go? Weiter and Chasson Paiskim, please? And I'm saying, no, we can't. I'm still stuck on Adam and Eve. So now I think we can look at the caricature of the waters of Mara. And that's really where the Torah of Shem should come in this week, is what happened at Mara. Right? We know that Rashi said that they took on the 7 laws. So you know what I'm going to do? We're going to stop with the verse we're doing this week. I apologize to Shannon, even though she's not here. And we're going to now get where Rashi spoke about the waters of Mara. What do you think about that? Because I am suggesting that at the waters of Mara, 2 types of people emerged. Those that were addicted and hooked to 7, and those that were addicted and hooked to 613. Simply by the cravings of their soul. Which fits the theory. Why do people today say they only want 613? Because the Sitra Achra says if you don't have 613, you're just not cool enough. Right? 7 got the bad rap. It was on the short end of the stick. It's chocolate, not strawberry. Whatever way you look at that. It's just not true. Right? Because imagine if you were standing at Mara and you're saying to yourself, I don't feel like I want to continue. I want to stay where I'm at. When I was with Rabbi Kovel, I did not want to just finish the Chumash. I wanted to sit on Adam and Eve for like half a year. Does that make sense? 1 or 2? You guys relate with that? At the end of the day, only you can say, not me. I'm just trying to figure out the reality and teach it. You tell me. Yeah? This fits? All right. Sounds good. Let me just find this Rashi. 1 second. If you guys can help look for it while I'm looking, find the Rashi about the waters of Mara. I always forget the verse. Please help me find that. Type in on Google, waters of Mara, if you can. I think it's 21:3. Let's see. You guys got it? Search, please, help. SOS. Mayday. No. It's somewhere in the 20s. Man. Let me do a Google search. Hold on. Because now I really do want to see what Rashi said there. David Dunn, what do you think about that? Here we go. There we go. Hey, get out of there. What are you doing? Come on, Rashi, where you at? Where you at? All right, so Sanhedrin 56b. We'll get it from there. Hold on. Okay, so I want that Rashi. Where's it at? Where is it at? Thomas and someone was actually taught earlier. Yeah, we know that. Here. Maybe you're right. Oh, Eric Bryan, I apologize. 1525. You're right. Sorry about that. There's 2 verses. One's in the 20s and one's here. But let me see. Hold on. Hold on. No, it's the one in the 20s that I want. Let me see what's here. Hold on. 25. Amara. Noten lehem. Mixas parshio shetayr shiasku behem. Shabbos para duma omedinin. Gimel is Sanhedrin 40. Mem is in, let's see here. We're talking about who stood at Sinai and what capacity Jews and Gerim stood at Sinai. Okay. All right, we'll use this one. Why not? All right, ready? Turn to 1525. Even though I don't like this one, there's a better one. There is a better one. I guess we'll use this one. No, it's in the chapter 20 where they were around the mountain for 3 days. And no, I can't use this one because it's not right. It's not right. It particularly says the laws of Noah. No, we cannot do this one. Cannot do this one. It's got to be the laws of Noah. There's a sister verse to this. Not gonna work. Hold on. There it is. There it is. Exodus 21 to 24. What does that mean? Rashi 24:3. There it is. 24:3. Go 24:3. Rabbi Google, you're the best. 24:3. Rashi. And Moshe came to speak to the people. By the way, the people usually is the Ger. Bo Bayom. Kol divrei Hashem. All the words of Hashem. Moshe came to speak. Mitzvahs, Prisha, v'Hagvila. A separating for your wives and the borders of the mountain. 1 or 2. With me? So Moshe came and told everyone what's going down. And he also said it's kol hamishpatim. Okay? All the statutes. Where in the Torah 24:3. 24:3. Zion mitzvahs shenitztavu b'nei noyach Shabbos kavod avein paraduma and dinin shenitnu lehem b'mara. All right, so at Mara, they had been commanded. V'chtov Moshe mebereshis v'ad matan Torah v'chtav mitzvah shenitztavu b'mara. So Moshe had already written a certain amount, taught a certain amount, explained a certain amount, prepared a certain amount. Is it safe to say Judaism is beginning? Right? We're going to separate from our wives. There's like halacha, don't go near the mountain. You seeing it? Certain mitzvahs are being written down. We're definitely transitioning, aren't we? We're at Sinai and we're transitioning. How would you feel right now? All of a sudden I said, hey everybody, God came and Mashiach's coming and we're going to finalize Sinai right now. If you want to be Jewish for eternity, right now, it's going to happen. How would you feel? Are you prepared right now? Out of the blue, it's like happening. That means you're going to keep everything right now. It's going to happen forever. Would you do it? So, Eric Bryan, you're saying right now you wouldn't do it. Mashiach's here and saying, everybody, now's the chance. We're finishing Sinai. Judaism is going to be complete, and we're doing it. You're going to keep kosher tomorrow. You're going to put on tefillin and daven, all of this stuff. It's happening right now. It's better to be a Jew right now. Let's go. All right. There's your answer. There's your answer. You see, some people would jump on it, but Pam, you've been working at this a long time. Would you have jumped 20 years ago? Right? So some at Sinai, maybe, if you want to hear the real side of the story, how many of those that became Jewish at Sinai might not have jumped if they were asked to do it today? Isn't that the irony of ironies? If you were Jewish today, would you do it all over again? Many wouldn't, and I can prove it to you. I can prove it to you. What do you think the number one thing guys in yeshiva talk about? We used to always say, if you found out you weren't Jewish, would you still be a Jew and convert, or would you stay a non-Jew? I must have had that discussion 20 billion times in yeshiva. My answer always was I would not convert. I would stay a non-Jew. That's probably not a shock to everybody, right? As I knew intuitively good Ger was back then without knowing Ger. I mean, it was just obvious to me back then I could serve as a non-Jew. I wouldn't have had to have been a Jew. And maybe that was the joke of jokes. Maybe the whole point was to stay Noahide and take on the 613 through Ger. Who knows? You know, is it better to be a man or a woman? I don't know. You'll never know. You won't know. You know, when you go to a restaurant, you buy a dinner, and the person you ate with had a better looking meal than you did. Don't you always wonder what would it have been like if I would have ordered what she had? You know what I'm saying? The steak wasn't it had too much fat on it, and her chicken sandwich looks pretty good. So there's your answer. Now let's see where Rashi got it from. That's a better question. Let's see the Mechilta in 24:3. Let's see if Rashi copied and pasted, and if he did, what did he do? Ready? You guys eager to know? 1 or 2? There's no Mechilta on it, I don't think. 1 second. I think there's no Mechilta. He doesn't say. They left. They didn't even want to go there. Hold on, I think that's what's going on here. There's Rashi in this. There's Rashi. They don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. See that? So let's see, where did Rashi get it from? That's a great question. Where did Rashi get it from? Okay. Asa Moshe v'ishtoi la'ama yaskol pisgamaya l'shem yaskol adinaya asa kol ama kol echad va'amru kol pisgamaya dai malil Hashem navid. Yeah, so basically, Moshe did it, and those that said that they were going to do it, what's this? I want to get the Targum Yonason. 1 second, let's get Targum Yonason. 24:3. This should be good. He'll have something good here. 24:3. V'yavo Moshe v'yisper la'am es kol dvarim shel Hashem es kol mishpatim v'yashiv kol ha'am kol echad v'amru kol shediber Hashem nasa. So this was Nasa v'nishma. We will do and we will listen happen here. Right? We are always taught that every Jew said Nasa v'nishma. I think the real answer, because it doesn't say every Jew said Nasa v'nishma. Notice that. It doesn't say that. It says Kul Am. It doesn't say Kul B'nai Yisrael. It doesn't say Kul Ger. It says Kul Ha'am. All of the nation or all the people. That means V'yabo v'yasaper la'am. You see that? There was an Am that accepted the Torah and brought it on. There was an Am appeared. A nation of Israel happened. That doesn't mean that nobody else was at Sinai. No, we're saying something different here, Pam. There were people at Sinai. 1 or 2. God called out and said, does everybody want chocolate? What happened? When God said, does everybody want chocolate? Some people, there was a group of people who said, we will eat and we will enjoy. 1 or 2. Some people said, what about the strawberry? 1 or 2. Hence, 2 nations were born. There was now a children of Israel and the revelation of Ger. That which happened is called redemption. When we figure out how to heal that schism, that it's okay to not have said Nasa v'nishma, then we have Mashiach. Right? I mean, look, every family goes through this. The dad says, hey, is everybody ready to go to the tractor pull? Dad and the two kids are like, yeah, let's go. What does mom say? Not exactly her cup of tea. She said, can't we go on a picnic in the park? That's it. It was a covenant. The covenant was there. And that's why in Dvarim it says there was a new covenant. In Dvarim. And the Ger were Dafka there. It says it explicitly. The covenant of Sinai was sealed with Ger and Jew. It's in Dvarim. Brit Chadashah. That is an Old Testament Torah verse. It's not New Testament. Because they were under one covenant of Sinai. Now we can see why there were those who became Jewish and those who became and remained Ger. Only because of the Satan does it look like it's some kind of contest. Right? It's not. It's stupid. 24:3. Now look at the Midrash Gadol. Hold on. We still don't know where Rashi got his words from, which I want to see. I guarantee you, the place that Rashi got it from is an enlightened text. Let's see here. Ready? Midrash Gadol. This is where Rambam gets all his stuff. Kol mishpatim makish dinin ladivris ma divris mesinai kach hadinin mesinai. Gadol hu amishpat shehu masras ashchina shenemar zadavar shekartiyas of seichem b'mitzayiskim mitzrayim v'ruach manis v'dogim all tireh. He's a dvar shenichras ima bris b'tzayis b'mitzrayim zeh amishpat. Shenemar v'yavol Moshe v'yisaver la'am eskol divrei Hashem v'eskol mishpatim. Mahu oimer hine dam habris asher koras Hashem imchem. V'yan kul ha'am kul echad. Shalom nitlu eitzah zeh mizeh kul dvarim asher dvar Hashem nasa shardimu aso l'shmiya shakul shomem ha'im adaso lasos v'noach lo shalom nivra v'tanan kul ha'lamed al menat lasos masfikin yad l'lomad v'lamed lasos. So this is where the conversion happened. About drawing blood in the mikveh, the whole thing about conversion. Remember our verse in Bamidbar, 15:15, Kachem Kager, like y'all like the Ger, the conversion. Look at Bamidbar 15:15. The Hebrew says Kachem Kager, like y'all did, the convert will do. Well, how many types of Ger are there? More than one. Okay, you don't have to become Ger by 15:15. So at Sinai, guess what happened? A certain type of Ger happened. Guess what also happened? Another type of Ger happened. Some Gerim became convert Ger. Some Ger did not become convert Ger. And it was not a contest by any means. It became a contest because the Sitra Achra. Because people believe that 613 is more than 7. That's called taking it Lafip Shuto and to ultra logically. Right? If I have more than you, I'm better. And there's Pam's answer. Why was Cain and Abel their problem? Right? Monetary is more. If I have more, I'm better than you. Right? That's what money thinks. So what was the argument? Why didn't you credit my agriculture? Because it's not worth anything. It's not worth anything. So I have more than you. So let's see, how does that analogy fit in? How does it fit in? I forget, how does it fit in? All the more so. Right, people were working on the 7. They weren't ready for 613. So in the agriculture and the money, we're saying the agricultural farmer got upset. You didn't recognize my worth. The monetary banker says, I have more than you. That's 613. So then why didn't the farmer take 613? He didn't have the goods to stand at 613. Generally, people think that's derogatory. What if it isn't? Right? So we're saying that it's not an accumulation number issue. Again, those who wanted more, as in quantity, money, dollars, cha-ching, went to Sinai 613. As in 613 is more than 7. Right? Who has more things? What's more? Your 5 apples worth $3 or 300 pennies? 300 pennies are more than 5 apples. 295 more. Right? You have 5 apples, I have 300 pennies, I have more than you. That's how the what do you call it? The male version of, what do you call that when you look at things? What do you call it when Eve is the culprit of crime and humanity, and Adam was right, Eve was wrong? What do you call that? Patriarchal, or what's it called? Right? But it's like no understanding, no bina. Right? If I have 300 of something and you only have 5 of something, I'm better than you and I have more. Right? That's the really archaic way of looking at things. It's like Mitch Hedberg has a joke. If I ever want to eat 5 million of something, I'll eat rice. See what I'm saying? So the quantity entity, that's called banking. That's called Abel. Right? Abel was that guy. Right? He says, he has his flock is more in details than the farmer. And what do we say? Cain brought like the flax or whatever, the real dodgy offering. What did Abel bring? A choicest of the flock. I have so many to choose from, it's coming out of my ears. Cain, bad crop. Sorry, God, it's the best I can do. A schwach looking, squash. So then we say that because the banker says to the farmer, or the farmer's mad, why didn't you acknowledge my worth? He says, because you're not worth anything. Then it's not a derogatory way. He's saying it literally. You can't buy the candy bar with 5 apples. So by definition, I have more monetary stuff than you do. Your job is to realize it's not a scale in competition. So then if 613 becomes the monetary, the agricultural is the farmer with the 5 apples. The 613 says to the farmer says to 613, why, the Noahide says to the Jew, I would like to do one of your mitzvahs. The Jew says, you don't matter. Why? Because your 7 mitzvahs are a scale that don't register on my scale. You follow me? Apples can't buy a candy bar. 7 laws don't buy a mitzvah. Got me? So then, that's why the agriculturist, the farmer, got upset. Why don't you consider me of value? Why don't you count me amongst you? And that schism is why there's 2 nations. You see? There is a fundamental difference, but it not such that it can't be overcome and heal the schism. Cain and Abel said, your offering was horrible. There's no value. Cain is saying, what are you talking about? How can I control the muzzle? How can I guarantee termites and stuff won't eat the crop? He couldn't take it and he killed him. He probably thought he was going to die. Abel doesn't want to share the animals, the wealth. But the tikkun can be, Cain says, I want to buy your animal with my squash. Abel says, sorry, it's not the same currency. So then what's the answer? The answer is, does Cain have value? The answer is yes, he does. Is it equal value to the banker? Yes, it is. Does Abel have more animals than Cain has vegetables that are good? Yes, he does. Does that matter? No, it doesn't. So what happened? The real question is, can Cain accumulate good crops with wisdom? Can he learn wisdom of how to get the squash that's not dodgy and thereby get, let's say, every year a produce of more and more? Should he want to take it seriously? Yes or no? One or two. Is agriculture good enough that if you just put a seed in the ground and water it, something will grow? 100%. However much he wants to nurture it with wisdom, that's up to him. Every kindergartner grows something, okay? We've all done that science project. What happens when you realize that's your passion? Can you turn a kindergarten experiment into a massive empire if you wanted to? 100%. Can you even make it a hobby? I like to grow tomatoes in my garden. It's up to you. God gave you the gift of all gifts. It's called, hey, guess what happens when you put a seed in earth and water it? It grows. Have a nice life. Talk to me if you want to take it seriously. Abel says, I wasn't blessed with agriculture, man. All I have is this stuff. I don't have a seed. Not my thing. I have a bunch of stuff. That's what I have. A bunch of stuff. So what are his choices? Either master the stuff you have or basically let it rot and decay with you, right? You live in a huge house, but you live in one little room. Or you can maximize it and use it to the best of your advantage. You're given a lot of stuff to use a lot of stuff. I have a store with a lot of things. Then sell good things in your store, right? And don't rip me off. Sell good things and be a good person selling good things. You have a dodgy squash. Can you theoretically have a field of things should you want to? Yes. Can they work in harmony? Right? If Cain learns the wisdom of farming and agriculture, can he get to the point? Exactly. Can Cain start to accumulate wealth? Can he actually get one of Abel's dollars? Yeah. Can Abel recognize that the candy bar was once upon a time a peanut in a field? There you have it. So Sinai to the derogatory, those that are faster and better at a lot of mitzvahs are better people. Everybody else is either an idolater below 7 or you're stuck on 7. Right? That's the exile mentality, right? But we can say the repair are those that have 613 would probably find the root of all 613 in 7, 1 or 2. And those that have 7 would be able to see and appreciate how 7 grows. And there's no need to finish my words with into 613. That's not what I said. 7 grows. That's all. That's all you need to know. Are you growing with 7? Or are you sterile? Or is it going into nothing? You don't have the right to make it nothing. You don't have the right to give your dodgy squash. You do have the right to make your 7 flourish. There's no law to say how many crops you're allowed to have. Has anybody ever blamed a farmer for having too many crops outside of America and the corn issue? I mean, seriously. When I say, Eric, you're a horrible guy, why don't you have a great harvest of pumpkins this year? You're such a Russia. He's a horrible guy. How's Eric Bryan? He's horrible. All he does is give the best produce to the store. Nasty guy. Nasty. That's it. 7 is the seed. However much you want to nurture that seed, that's up to you. Nobody has the right to say you are a nasty person for a farming well. Give me a break. But you can be nasty for saying how many things you've accumulated. It's called chemda. And for those who have heard my Vilna Gaon Evan Shlema series, right? Gaining material wealth for the sake of it. You guys heard that in the Evan Shlema series I'm doing? But what if I have a lot? What if God gave me a lot of things? And I find out that the roots of the things I have are really good. What if I have a computer? And not everybody is fortunate enough to have a computer. I found out, hey, I can actually teach Torah on the internet with my computer. Therefore, I have to have a computer. Would you agree that Rabbi Katz has to have a decent, nice computer? Would you agree with that statement? Can you also agree that maybe not everybody in the world needs a computer on the level of Rabbi Katz's computer? Now, some people might need a good car. I particularly need a modest car. Some people might need a Ford 350, dun-dun-dun, ding-dun-dun, right? What kind of person would need such a car? Expensive truck, 4-wheel drive, engine. You ever hear of a farmer? Yeah. No one's blaming him for spending, $50,000 on a car. Put it in perspective, okay? That's the mushal. I think now we can, Pam, how do you feel? Does this satisfy your soul? Satisfies mine. Sinai, 2 peoples. The fate of them, I think we can understand it. What do you think? There you go. It's called reality. It's called Tree of Life. Look at it from life perspective, and it's not so bad. Look at it from Tree of Knowledge, and you're practically not even there. I mean, if you're not 613, what is it? I do a project with Brandon Williams once a week, and we scavenge the internet looking for things to crunch the English to make sense out of it. You know what I found? A construction company, and I wanted to read about a construction company. We were analyzing the English. If I offered you guys a construction job, would you consider it blue-collar work and manpower and labor? Okay. How about for the rest of your life? Eric, I want you to work construction. That's all I'm saying. I want you to get a construction job. Are you going to be doing that the rest of your life? Let's say you take it up. And let's say you love it. But does that come with a connotation you're going to be doing manual construction work the rest of your life? Well, then am I going to fire you? Now that you're not 25 years old, what happens to you? That's what you're told. That's why society is crippled. We read to find out this is the fallacy that they're telling Generation Y. When you have an interest in knowledge in the construction field, they are dying to take you out of the manual labor and make you a manager. Exactly. They use your talent. They say, hey, Eric is a smart guy. Eric was shoveling coal until he was 25. Eric knows how to go out and sell coal, right? We have a huge industry all over America. Eric is a charismatic guy. He really doesn't need to be in the sun shoveling coal. Let's give him a pay raise and a job change. Eric is now called a managing director. They don't tell you that. If you shovel coal, you're a lowlife. You're a loser. Isn't that the fear they're putting us as kids in America? Don't do that. You don't want to be like those people. It's a fallacy. It's a fallacy. The person that put together this blog post was so frustrated, saying there's so many good jobs. that you don't have to go to college for. I'm not saying, oh, you don't have to go to college for it. You just don't have to go to college for it. We're not saying, oh, you don't even have to go to college. No, you just don't have to go to college. You just don't have to. Okay? You don't always have to learn math. You don't always have to learn Shakespeare. Okay? You just don't have to. If you want to, b'vakasha. How many people are being misled into a name tag job thinking, chas v'chalila, I should shovel coal? You know who David Katz was at 18 years old? I was a guy who could have shoveled coal. I was a strong young kid. You know what kind of trouble I would have been in if I would have gone into construction? Just from my high school. What, a Centerville graduate shoveling coal? Are you serious? We put our students into college at a very high percentage rate. It's a fallacy. I don't remember why I brought on that point, but I forget what I was talking about before then. But you got the point. So that's it for today. All right? We understand the two nations had Sinai. Why one is looked down upon, one point of view. Right? Chocolate ice cream is good, strawberry is bad. And everyone knows that. Therefore, strawberry, you're just kind of freakazoid. Right? Alternative is bad. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's so childish, you know? Alternative is bad. I mean, as I started the class tonight, Midrash Halacha is called an alternative look to Chumash. Remember, PM, that's how we started tonight, right? Alternative. The alternative angle. The Ger is the alternative. It's an alternative angle. And there are those people that stood at Sinai who saw the alternative. There was like 10 people, speaking kind of stupid, but you know what I'm saying, that said, wait a minute, I'm going to choose strawberry. I don't know about these chocolate people. I'm going strawberry. That's that. And that's all for this week, Torah of Shem. Thanks for coming. We got a little bit off track. Wait. I'm not turning off yet. Hold on. I do want to find out where Rashi got that language from. Hold on. 24:3. There's one more place I can look. Hang on. And you know what we're also going to do? We're going to look in the art scroll. It's going to be a Ger of Shem. I promise you that. I do promise you that. Unfortunately. Let's see what art scroll says before I look in the big book. There we go. Ready for the Ger of Shem? They're going to get it wrong. I'm telling you. Maybe not. I shouldn't speak so bad. But they usually get it wrong. 24:3, art scroll. Explain Rashi. Moses came and told the people on that same day all the words of Hashem. This refers to the command, separating, making a boundary. Here we go. There's Kol Mishpatim and all the laws, the 7 commandments, which Shiva Mitzvah and Stavu B'nei Noach. 7 commandments which the sons of Noah, i.e. non-Jews, were commanded to observe. And Shabbos, honoring one's father and mother, the law of the red cow, and civil laws were given to them at Mara. Do you hear the perversion? Did you just hear the perversion? This is why I'm furious. David, don't take notice. You see this? He's quoting Sanhedrin 56b and Rashi to 1525. Who can tell me where the perversion is? In specific. The 7 commandments which the sons of Noah, i.e. non-Jews, were commanded to observe, and Shabbos, honoring one's father and mother, the law of the red cow, and civil laws which were given to them at Mara. Please state the perversion. Give up? That's right. And it's in past tense. It was given. How about it is given? How about they are given? This sounds like once upon a time, non-Jews were commanded to observe them. That ended now. It didn't end now. Now you understand why I have issues with Art Scroll? It's a major problem. Major, major, major problem. It's just not translated well. The Hebrew, there's Kula Mishpatim and all the laws, Sheva mitzvahs shenitztavu b'nei Noach, v'Shabbos kivud av v'ein v'para duma v'dinin shenitnu lehem b'mara. Read inside the Rashi, inside the regular. 1 second. So there's Kula Mishpatim, Sheva mitzvahs shenitztavu b'nei Noach, v'Shabbos kivud av v'ein v'para duma v'dinin shenitnu lehem b'mara. Moses explained all of these which were given to them at Mara. I don't have Sincino. Now you see why Hebrew and English are different languages. When I read this in the Hebrew, it makes sense. See what I'm saying? You can see in the Hebrew there's something here. There's Noahites, there's Ger, there's people, Sinai's going on. When you go into the English Art Scroll, it's only Jewish, and it's like something that once was, but not anymore. So yeah, this is the fallacy. Listen, I didn't say it right. Listen, it gets even worse. Watch this. I'm going to read it 1 ear shot. Ready? Ready? Moses came and told the people on that same day all the words of Hashem. This refers to the command of separating and making the boundary, and all the laws, the 7 commandments, which the sons of Noah, i.e. non-Jews, were commanded to observe, and Shabbos, honoring one's father and mother, the law of the red cow, and civil laws, which were given to them at Mara. See? He's saying the 7 laws have nothing to do with this experience. Once upon a time, there were non-Jews we heard about in the world that were commanded to them, but that's not here. This is something else. That is a false statement. Sorry. It's a false statement. There's in no way, shape, or form true that Mara was now something different. Anyone that knows Noahide laws knows that Sinai is when the Noahides became commanded officially in the 7 laws of Noah. And there is a midrash on this. Let me check it out. 1 second. Shir Mrab. Now, do you guys understand my frustration? David, do you understand my frustration? Paragraph 114. Not fun. Not fun. Try explaining this to people. I dare you to try to explain this and articulate this problem. If you're successful, then more power to you. It is not easy to explain. All right, here we go. 14. Shemos. Where's it at? It doesn't say it clearly. Hold on. Paradolad Dalad. 4-4. 4. Okay. Let's see. Shemos. Shemos. There it is. Okay. Shakula Imahem Shalo Nizo Kamahem Kokul Kashani Okay, Zakul Shalish Dibor. Hi Khmad At Amar Vayan Kula Am Kula Chad Umedivrech Nave Zeakol Shal Acher Hadibor Shnemar Vayishma Hashem es kol divrechem v'yomar Hashem Eli Shemati es kol divrei kol asher diveru ma'edi kol da da da. All they're saying is they heard the voice of Hashem. I will now further prove my thesis. Are you ready for that? You ready for this? Because of this, I can now prove it Lagamre. You know what Sinai is called? From the mouth of God, I heard too. Mepia Gevura. Right? We say they heard, I am Hashem your God, you shall have no other gods in one go. Correct? Those people that come to my Mishlei class know that we speak about the Navon. Those that hear the Dvar B'toch Dvar, the matter in the matter. Correct? And we call that here also, hearing two is one. Correct? So if God speaks to all these people at Sinai, and that happened at Mara, correct? And Moshe Rabbeinu taught the 7 laws, Paraduma, laws, and Shabbos, and honoring your parents, correct? And Moses was a prophet of Hashem, correct? Was Moshe a Navon? The answer is yes. He is the definition of a Navon. That's how he was able to write the Torah. He was able to contain the voice of God, the matter in the matter. Now, if Moshe is talking to everybody, and it's God speaking through him, you with me? And Moshe wrote the Torah, which is perfect Hebrew. Is that correct? Could you have heard Moshe's message and thereby deduce 2 separate pshat to what Moshe said? Could I walk away from Sinai saying, I think I should keep 7? Could the other guy walk away and say, I heard I should keep 613? Remember the dress on Facebook? Was it blue or was it gold? If we saw that on stupid Facebook, can we not assume that when Moshe spoke at Sinai with ultra inspiration, some people heard encouragement to keep 7 and some people heard encouragement to keep 613? That's exactly right. That's the beauty of 70 Faces to the Torah. You can hear it, and it's clear to you, and somebody can argue, and it's not a machlokus. There are certain people in the world that when Moshe speaks, they hear Ger. There are certain people that when Moshe speaks, they hear Jew. And they're both right. It just so happens there are more Jews than Ger according to the verbiage. How do I know that? Because 613 is more than 7. So what's the tikkun? As the Vilna Gaon, I'm going to close on this note. In the Vilna Gaon in Kol HaTorah, when does Mashiach ben David come? When all things become equal. When 7 equals 613, that's when Mashiach comes. Because it's the repair for the initial schism, and it's an illogical statement that somehow becomes logical. It's not a literal equation. You cannot buy apples with a candy bar, but you can learn how you can. Exactly, Merrick. There you go. Shavua Tov. Thanks everyone for coming. David, good to see you.